Good evening, everyone. At this time, I'd like to call our meeting to order. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second by Sophia.
Roll call, please, Danielle. Okay, well, I can do it. Do we have Vice President Mendoza? Sue? Board member?
Yes,
You?
I'm here.
Dr. Chris Apodaca?
Here.
Maynard Law? Ernie Nishi?
Here.
And Sophia Say.
Present.
Thank you. At this time, we welcome public comments. Comments submitted will be presented during public comment section, which is limited to 1 hour and each speaker to one presentation of 5 minutes, unless the board wishes to waive the time limit. Those who have a group concern are encouraged to select a spokesperson to address the board. Comments submitted regarding a specific agenda item will be presented following the staff comments and prior to the board's discussion and taking action. Pledge of Allegiance. Board Member Nishi, can you please lead us in the pledge?
Thank you. All rise. I pledge allegiance
I pledge
to the
allegiance.
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under
under
God,
God, indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge elected officials and former VIPs that are in attendance tonight. We have Congresswoman Linda Sanchez, California's 38th District. We have Viviana Gomez, Field Representative for the Office of Assemblywoman or Member Garcia. We have Don Canabe, retired Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors, 4th District. We have the City of Cerritos Mayor, Naresh Solanki. We have Renee Trevino, City of Artesia's Mayor Pro Tem. We have Chung Vo, City of Cerritos Mayor Pro Tem. Frank Yokoyama, City of Cerritos Council Member. Leticia Mendoza, ABC Vice President of the Board. Maynard Law, ABC Board Member. Dixie Primash, retired ABC Board Member. Gail Bosfield, past ABC Council PTA President. And we have ABC community members and ABC staff members. At this time, I'd like to turn the meeting over to Dr. Sue.
Thank you very much, President Rios. At this time, I would like to invite the City of Cerritos Mayor Pro Tem Chung Vo to administer the oath of office to our newly elected board member, Brad Beach.
Thank you, Dr. Mary Sue. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, if it's okay with the board, I also like to take this opportunity to thank and congratulate the incoming board members, Board Member Apodaca, Board Member Say, and Board Member-elect Eugenio for winning your last election. So congratulations. And also I'd like to take this opportunity to thank outgoing President Dr. Rios, because I won't be able to do it later, for your dedicated year of service as the president. So thank you for that. And now, if I can say a few words about Brad. Brad, the man of the hour for me, because I'm supposed to be swearing you in. So I'm going to be a little bit focused on you. Brad has worked hard for his community, but more so for our kids and parents of ABC. Brad gave his own personal time to work with the district on special committees, and not only earned his seat, but more importantly, I think he deserves his seat on the school board. Brad and I haven't always agreed on issues, but what we both know is we'll always work through those issues, and we always promise to work together to better our community, to represent our constituents and those who voted. Brad, I'm gonna take this opportunity to give you one simple advice, and that don't forget why you ran for office, and always put the community first. Be available, be accessible, and make decisions that are just and fair, and always remember, it is never the wrong time to do the right thing. And lastly, I just want to mention Marlene, Addison, and Mackenzie. Thank you so much for allowing your husband, your father, to serve on the board. You must be very proud. The sacrifice from our elected families also needs to be recognized. And for that, I thank you, Marlene, Addison, and Mackenzie. Brad, are you ready?
Ready?
Okay, go ahead and put your right hand up and repeat after me. I, Bradley Beach,
I, Bradley Beach,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the Constitution
and allegiance to the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California.
and the Constitution of the State of California,
I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion,
And I will and faithfully
and I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations, Board Member Brad Beach. I look forward to working with you, and thank you for the opportunity. Thank you,
Thank you.
Dr. Mary.
Thank you, Chong.
We're going to give Brad Beach an opportunity to say a few words.
Thank you, Dr. Sue. I would first of all like to thank my family, my wife Marlene, and my two daughters that are in the room here with me. They held the Bible while I swore in, and I appreciate that greatly. I'd also like to thank a couple other special women in my life. I'd like to thank my mother, Janet Beach. She helped tremendously on my campaign, designing my sign and all my graphics. And I also wanted to thank Miss Connie Edwards, who is my treasurer. And I know that Jim is watching this meeting tonight and very proud of me sitting here. So I wanted to thank the Edwards family. I also just briefly wanted to thank all of my supporters. It's too long of a list to go over, but I appreciate this community. I grew up going to ABC schools, and I'm really honored to represent ABC family. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Beach, for your comments tonight. Next, I'm going to invite City of Artesia Mayor Renee Trevino to administer the oath of office to newly elected board member, Dr. Michael Eugenio.
Thank you, Dr. Sue. We certainly appreciate that. On behalf of the City of Artesia, wanted to give a quick thank you to Dr. Olga Rios for her time served on the board this past year as president, an outstanding job. And congratulations to the elected board members, Dr. Apodaca, board member Say, and recently installed board member Beach. I'm going to be having the honor of installing and giving the oath for Dr. Michael Eugenio. I came to know Michael about 3.5, 4 years ago, and he wanted to be involved in the community. And when I was honored to earn a seat on the city council, he was asked to serve as a public safety commissioner, which he stepped up, and he did an outstanding job in providing leadership and guidance to the council. So it's in turn now that the community has entrusted Michael to represent the city of Artesia, all the children in the city of Artesia, as well as the rest of the ABC district on the school board. So I know that Michael will be in good hands, and he's very capable. And I look forward to good things coming from a great partnership between the city of Artesia and the ABC school board. So at this time, I will go ahead and begin the oath. Michael, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Dr. Michael Eugenio, do solemnly swear
I, Dr. Michael Eugenio, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion.
And I will and faithfully
And I will and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations, Board Member Eugenio.
Thank you so much.
At this time, I would like to have Dr. Michael Eugenio say a few words as well.
Thank you all. This is a great honor for me to become elected and to recite this oath of office. It's actually even a greater honor to serve the district that I was raised in. There's a saying that it takes a village to raise a child, and I can say that definitely holds true for a candidate during a campaign. So with that, I would like to thank the village that raised me. First, I'd like to thank my lovely wife, May. Thank you always for supporting me. Thank you for being by my side always. I love you. And I'd like to thank the new mayor of Artesia, Renee Trevino, and five-time mayor, former mayor, Sally Flowers, for guiding me, mentoring me, and having the confidence in me to run for this position. I'd also like to thank my campaign committee. There's so many of you to name, but I'd like to thank all of you. I'd like to thank my friends and family, my mother. Hi, Mom, I know you're watching. And I'd like to thank the many volunteers that sacrifice their time and effort to support me as well. Lastly, I'd like to thank the village of Artesia for supporting me. I'd like to thank the residents, the parents, the students for having the confidence and trust in me to make me their voice. Thank you all again.
Thank you so much for your comments tonight. Next, I would like to invite Congresswoman Linda Sanchez to administer the oath of office to Dr. Chris Apodaca.
Forgot to unmute. Thank you and good evening to everyone. It's such an honor to be with you tonight. I know that this year has been a challenging one for students, teachers, parents, and administrators. And I know that for many of us, the end of the year can't come soon enough. As a mother helping my son through distance learning, trust me, I feel your pain. The board has really had to navigate some unprecedented challenges for our community. I'm continuing to fight for long overdue resources from the federal government to help our schools weather this storm. And I know that we are all happy to finally see the light at the end of the tunnel with a vaccine on its way, but we still have a long spring semester ahead of us before we can recover, which is why I am so pleased that the board will continue to have a tireless advocate for students, teachers, and all of ABC Unified's family in the month ahead. Dr. Chris Apodaca's expertise on mental health and socioeconomic wellness is keenly suited to the times, so he is rising to meet the moment. And teachers can take comfort in continuing to have a reliable friend in Chris on the board. So at this time, I would like to swear in Chris. Chris, would you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, Chris Apodaca, do solemnly swear
I, Chris Apodaca, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
Think about that one. Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
There you go. That's a tough one. And I will well and faithfully.
And I will well and faithfully.
Discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
Please join me, everyone, in congratulating Chris and all the newly installed members on a brand new term. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Chris. And I would like to have you say a few words if possible.
Well, I promised earlier, Dr. Sue, that I'd keep my remarks short, which is, as you know, new for me. But I wanted to thank our Congresswoman Linda Sanchez, who has been so supportive and always available. And when I say available, I don't mean her office. I mean her physically as a woman, as a Congresswoman, available for our district. And so whether it's in DC or whether it's here at the local office, she takes a very keen interest in what we do in the district. And I know she's very proud of our accomplishments. It's great to have her as a resource, and I'm truly honored to have her swear me in tonight. So I wanted to thank her on my behalf, as well as on behalf of the City of Hawaiian Gardens and my family. This is a huge deal for my family. And I wanted to welcome the new board members. And I agree that we need to remember why we're here. And I want to say that too often, especially in public service, we forget. And we're here for the kids. We're here for the kids. We're here to make sure they get a quality public education, and that we work and strive to remove any obstacles that would impede that. And I remain dedicated to making sure that that's the case in ABC. I want to thank our amazing wellness coordinators at all the different schools. You are at least a decade-long fulfillment of a dream. We have wellness coordinators at every single school in our district, 2 at the high schools. That's unheard of. And it's amazing to make sure, especially during these turbulent times where anxiety is high, depression is high, we have these resources available for our families and our students here in ABC Unified. So I want to say thank you again to Congresswoman Linda Sanchez, as well as to the community for allowing me to serve you for another 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Apodaca. At this time, I would like to administer the oath of office to Sophia Say. Can you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, Sophia Say,
I, Sophia Say,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I will take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
upon which you're about to enter.
Thank you so much, Sophia Say. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr.
Next
Sue.
4 years.
Thank you, Dr. Sue. And thank you, Congresswoman Sanchez, your wonderful words, kind words about the school. Really appreciate in the past years that you're supporting our district. Thank you. And welcome too. I'm so glad to see you. First of all, to all the current former elected officials, friends, and our district voters, welcome to our ABCUSD tonight reorganization meeting. We also give our special thanks to our outgoing ABC President, Dr. Rios. Secondly, I would like to welcome our newly elected board member, Mr. Beach, and board member, Dr. Eugenio. And once again, congratulations to my old colleague, re-elected board member, Dr. Apodaca. Thirdly, I would like to take opportunity to say I am honored and humbled to have been re-elected as government board member for 2020. I want to thank all of my colleagues, which is include our former board member, Ms. Chen, Ms. Spitzer, and Mr. Law, for your support and encouragement over the past year. It has been a wonderful experience for me and privilege to work with all of you. I would like to thank all the former and current elected officials for your endorsement. My volunteer students from Winnie High School, Sid, Martin, and Laura, plus our board member, Mr. Nishii and Ms. Yu, who delivered the mass to my trustee area 5, and board member, Mr. Beach, who helped me put some yard sign. Also our ABCUSD union support and endorsement. And once again, our community voters for placing your trust in me and select me to serve our great school district and another 4-year term. Once again, I want to also thank Dr. Su and your cabinet and our cabinet for your support. And thank you very much. And thank you, really appreciate it from bottom of my heart. Thank you, Dr. Su.
Thank you so much, Ms. Say. At this time, I would like to conduct the election of a board president. I now declare nominations open for the position of board president.
Dr. Su, I'd like to nominate Sophia Tse as the president for this school district because I think we really need her many years of experience. Right now, we need the experience that she has and kind of one of the few members, the last members to have been voted by the entirety of the entire district. This is a trying time, and it's time that we have people that can go through this experience. So I nominate Sophia Tse.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nishii. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none. May I have a roll call vote for the nomination of Sophia Tse as president of the board? Danielle?
Dr. Apodaca,
Yes, absolutely.
Mr. Beach,
Yes.
Dr. Eugenio,
Yes.
Mr. Nishii,
Yes?
Dr. Rios,
Yes.
Mrs. Say,
Yes.
Mrs. Yu.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Wow. Wow. So I wasn't really prepared for this. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, board member, Mr. Nishi. And thank you all my colleagues support me and trust me for this position. I really appreciate it. I know, and in the past that we do need to make some comments. Am I right, Dr. Su?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank you all and also our community for your support and our cabinet and Dr. Su under your leadership with working with us. I really want to appreciate. And Dr. Olga Rios, I want to let you know you are the awesome president last year and you are terrific. I learned so much from you, even though I had a president experience before, but you did tremendous job there. But there's one, since we have some comment, I do like to say, what did I want to do for this coming 1 year, what I would like to serve. And I always have a goal. You know, every 4-year term, I always have some goal. My goal in the past, ethnic study, LBM program, and vaping issue, I accomplished. So my next 1-year term, and I told some of my board members a long time ago, I said, I want to do something differently if I become a board member again. I wasn't thinking about president, I'm just saying board member. There's something I really want to do as my background. I really want to do, my goal will be ensure the best and the safe instruction for all students for this coming year. We need to do that. Education has been lost. Our teacher tried the best we can, but there's some issue that we have and we need to improve that. Also make sure that we have adequate education tools to assist our school staff. They need to have the best tool for them to educate our kids. I want to improve our relationship with our district cities, Cerritos, Artesia, Hawaiian Garden, Lakewood. I think that's one of the things, if I become a president, I want to make some change on that. I was expecting our board member, my colleague, will go to the city that they decided to make a commitment to that, go to the board meeting, go to the city meeting once a month and come back and share with us, if it's okay for my board. The relationship is so important. I want to improve our communication with our community members too. I want to educate all students, family, ABC employees, board members to respect the people's rights, respect and value others' culture, language, and treat others the way you would like to be treated. And let's make sure to involve all people from different social, ethnic backgrounds, different genders, and sexual orientation. I will work closely with our diversity, unity, and equity board committee to make sure all voices will be heard. And let me clearly announce that Black Lives Matters. I will continue to collaborate with our ABCFT, which is ABC Federation of the Teacher Union, CSEA, California Employee Association, and ABCMA, ABC Management Association. Together, we will continue make our ABC district the best and the safe district. I also work closely with our PR director, Mr. Smith, and the local news to make sure our community gets correct, factual, and firsthand information about our wonderful district. Once again, I want to thank you very much, all of you, and thank you for trusting me. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Su. Give it back to you now.
At this time, I would like to have Mrs. Say take over the presentations to Dr. Olga Rios.
I do know we have some in the past provided a certification or proclamation. Am I right?
That's
so,
correct.
I know we have California Assembly member, Speaker of the House, Anthony Randon, provide a certificate of recognition. Do we have the person here ready for us, Dr. Su?
No, we're going to call the following people on the bottom.
Okay, so I call all the people who have certificate and proclamation.
You're
And
just
we also have Assemblywoman Christine Garcia, District 58. Am I right, Dr. Su?
correct. You're
All the
just
list?
going to name. You're just going to name the people who have provided certificates and proclamations tonight.
Thank you. So Assembly Christina Garcia, District 58, provide a certificate of recognition. Congresswoman Linda Sanchez, California 38 District, provided certificate of recognition. City of Atisha Mayor Ali Taj provided a proclamation. City of Cerritos Mayor Naresh Solanki provided a proclamation. So next one we'll call on the following people. Am I right?
That's correct.
Okay. So we have first is Viviana Gomez, Field Representative, Office of Assembly Member Christina Garcia. Vivian, are you ready?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you, Vivian.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Happy to be here tonight. And so I just wanted to go ahead and present the outgoing board president, Dr. Olga Rios, with a certificate. We did mail it out already, so hopefully you're getting it soon. And on behalf of the 58th Assembly District, I commend you for your exemplary leadership as president of the ABC Unified School District Board of Education for the 2019 to 2020 term. While school districts have faced unimaginable challenges due to COVID-19, your unwavering commitment, dedication, and service to our students and community is a testament to your character and the resilience of the board. I wish you the best in all your future endeavors. Signed, Assemblywoman Christina Garcia, representing the 58th District. Thank you.
Thank you.
And next one we have from City of Lakewood, Mayor Todd Rogers. Mr. Rogers?
Madam President, thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here on behalf of all 5 members of the City Council, our Vice Mayor Jeff Wood, Council Member Steve Croft, Council Member Ariel Pei, and Council Member Vicky Stuckey. I think some of them are watching tonight. We want to add our congratulations to Board Member Beach, Board Member Eugenio, and returning Board Member Say and Apodaca. It's really a pleasure to see all of you seated and We look forward to more good things from the continuing board members and great things from the new board members, and we look forward to working with you. For outgoing President Rios, we are so proud of you being a Lakewood resident. Your entire community is proud of the work that you have done, not only as a representative on the board, but your leadership this past year as president of the board. This has been mentioned, a very trying year, and you've provided some very steady leadership, and that has not gone unnoticed, and we appreciate that very much. Beyond that, we appreciate your advocacy on behalf of not only Lakewood students, but students throughout the ABC Unified School District. And as a city, we really value the partnership we have with the entire district, the entire board, but in particular, you as a Lakewood resident that is so valuable to us. As you know, Lakewood's represented or served by 4 school districts, and we want to have a strong partnership with all of them, and you've been a big part of making that possible. So we want to congratulate you on a great year. Thank you for all your service. And if you can see it, I have a certificate that I'll be sending your way very shortly. So congratulations on a great year and happy holidays to everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor Rogers, and also thank you, Ms. Gomez. Again, the next one will be City of Cerritos Mayor Naresh Solanki. Mayor Solanki, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Where did we go? Hold on a second. Thank you, Madam Chair, and again, congratulations on getting reelected on a school district. I'd like to congratulate Brad Bates, Dr. Michael Eugenio, and Dr. Apodaka. Good evening. On behalf of Cerritos City Council, I would like to recognize and thank Dr. Olga Rios for her dedicated service as a president of ABC Unified School District Board of Education for the past year. Dr. Rios has contributed greatly to school district and community by working with administrator, teacher, staff, and parents to make the excellent ABC school even better. Dr. Rios' mission has been to prepare all ABC Unified School District students to be college and or career ready. She has provided effective leadership to ABC Unified School District, and her dedicated service to appreciated by community. The City of Cerritos is honored to be present proclamation to Dr. Rios in recognition of her dedicated service as a president of ABC Unified School District Board of Education. Congratulations, Dr. Rios.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor Solanki. The next one will be from CSEA, which is President Rebecca Michelle Marcias. Ms. Marcia, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Thank you.
Good evening, brand new incoming President Sophie Say, and congratulations. And congratulations to our new board members. Pleasure to have you on board. Dr. Rios, what can I say about you that everyone doesn't already know? Those of you who know me know that I get a little emotional when I talk about our students, staff, and community, because I'm so proud and I'm so passionate about what we do here in ABC. You are a testament to the outstanding work we do here in ABC. You are born and bred in ABC, and you've grown quite a bit from being a PTA participant to the beautifully polished pebble you are now. I'm very proud to have worked under your leadership, and I hope that your future endeavors are just as successful, because you did a whole lot with a little bit. So I really want you to know that on behalf of CSEA, we appreciate all your hard work to the staff, community, and students here in ABC. Thank you, Dr. Rios.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Marcias. And next one will be from ABCMA, ABCMA, the President-elect Thomas Woodward. Mr. Woodward, are you ready?
I am, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm here tonight to represent the ABC Management Association. And to Dr. Rios, we would like to say, we thank you for your work as ABC Unified President, especially during these difficult times. We appreciate your ongoing support and your of our district and site leaders. And this was from a card sent earlier today to Dr. Rios from the ABC Management Association. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Woodward. Do we have any other, Dr. Su or Daniela, do you see any other elected official present would like to come out? And Daniela?
I don't have any at this time.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse me.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Ray is right here. Oh, that was our ABC FT union and Mr. Kier. Ray,
Yeah.
go ahead. The floor is yours now, Ray. I'm sorry.
Thank you for recognizing me, President Say. Good evening. On behalf of the teachers and nurses of ABC, the ABC Federation of Teachers would like to congratulate and thank Dr. Olga Rios for her tenure as school board president during this historic year, 2020. Dr. Rios served as a board president with distinction and brought an honor to our district as the first Latina to serve as our president. Despite the turmoil of the year, she stayed true to her mission of elevating the concepts of equity, and she has the gift to be able to shine a spotlight on those members of the community who deserve to have the right to have the supports and tools to uplift all stakeholders. Thank you, Dr. Rios, for being the voice of calm, determination, and courage in this year of unknowns and of constant turmoil. Under your leadership, the school board has reflected the needs of all the community members. Our students and their future successes will be shaped by how our community of parents, administrators, employees, and school board members rallied together to support the needs of ABC students. Modeling is the best form of teaching that we can do, and you are the best teacher. If you, I'm going to leave you with a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt, who best described the quality we find most important for ABC board presidents. It says, "Courage is more exhilarating than fear, and in the long run, it is easier. We do not have to become heroes overnight.
I believe he's frozen.
Ray, we lost you. Ray, we lost you. Ray, you need a hot spot.
It's too bad because it was a wonderful quote.
Oh, you want to?
Well, you're back. I'd love to hear it.
Go ahead, Ray.
All right.
Ray, can continue.
I'll try to use a real professional voice here. All right, courage is more exhilarating than fear, and in the long run, it is easier. We do not have to become heroes overnight, just a step at a time, meeting each that comes up, seeing it not as dreadful as it appeared, discovering we have the strength to stare it down. Thank you, Dr. Rios, for having the courage this year and to guiding the entire board and the entire ABC community through this really stressful time. You've been a godsend. Thank you.
Thank you. I know I missed you. I said, where's Ray?
Thank you.
And I can't see that many. So anyway, thank you, President Regier. And next one, I will give it back to our board member make comments. I will start with board member Apodaca. Dr. Apodaca, are you ready?
Yes, I am, Madam President. I want to say congratulations as well on being elected unanimously by this board. And I think it's fitting, especially because you're our most senior member. I don't want to say that you're old. You're our most senior tenured member. But I think it's very important to recognize what's being handed off to you. And Dr. Rios, she had to step up to the plate. I mean, I remember when we had to, in the middle of the day, leave work, leave wherever we were to go to the district to vote to close our schools. And, you know, she was a leader that we needed. I'll be honest with you, she wasn't the leader I expected, but she was a leader we needed. And she just blew everybody away. Her methodology, the way that she addressed problems, the way that she addressed conflict, let's face it, we're a democracy. If we don't have conflict, we're not a healthy democracy. We're barely a democracy at all. So her being approachable, her thinking things through, and always keeping the main thing the main thing. And that's one thing that I know as a board member, I will always value under her presidency, because it's difficult to not be able to go and meet with the superintendent in person to set the agenda. It's difficult to not go to the different conferences and congratulate your students and your teachers and your parents when they receive not just like a local regional award, but a national award. That's a sacrifice. That's a huge sacrifice. And if anybody had told me when I was president that I couldn't do that, I would have been airborne. But all the same, she kept positive, she kept focused, and she reminded people that this is what we have to do. It's the state of affairs. And so we're going to focus on making sure that each and every child that's entrusted to our care will receive a quality, free public education. And so, Dr. Rios, I sincerely and genuinely want to thank you for listening to my gripes, trying to understand, even though most people don't understand where I'm coming from sometimes, but you tried to understand. And I'll be honest with you, for humoring me, for accommodating me, just letting me vent to you with something that I disagreed with. And in most cases, that's enough to make me go away. So I wanted to say thank you. And I look forward to the years that we have remaining on this board together. And you know, you did a stellar job. You really did. And you did a job that's incomparable to any other president in the history of our school district. You made history as our school board president. So I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, as well as on behalf of our constituents here in Hawaiian Gardens. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Apodaca, for your kind word towards our outgoing president, Dr. Rios. Thank you. Next one, I would like to call board member Mr. Beach.
Dr. Olga Rios, I wanted to thank you for your service to the school board. 2 of my children go to these schools. We appreciated your leadership, and I know how much time you spent away from your family, so thank you for the sacrifice.
Thank you, newly elected board member, Mr. Beach. And next one, I like to call, I hope I follow the right order. I just write it down here by myself. Dr. Eugenio.
Dr. Rios, I wanted to thank you for your service and your leadership during these trying times. It's really difficult, the job that you had to go through this year. So again, thank you for your service.
Thank you, Dr. Eugenio, and welcome. And the next one, I'd like to call our board member, Mr. Nishii.
Thank you, Madam President. You have big shoes to fill, Sophia, Madam President, Sophia say.
Thank you.
I think leaders make a difference, and from the very, very beginning, I think you know, it was challenging. One of your major first decisions was to close the schools, and you know, just handling that would be a difficult task for most leaders. And they would say, you know, I have my agenda, but I mean to set that aside for these other things that are more important. But you didn't do that. I really think that you know, at the very beginning, when you first got elected, your drumbeat was the theme of equity, and it's become that has become the theme of every single one. That's leadership. It's really gotten into all of us, and I know we build from the previous leaders. So, you know, I built from Mayfield when she had the Equity Institute, and we had the board training. But it's a difference between having a dream and turning your dream into reality. And just symbolic words is one thing, where we had the resolution to attack racism, but then acting upon that resolution with the creation of people committee to combat inequality and our prejudice. And it's not just the words of the resolution, but it's the people that are going to make those words become reality for our kids, to teach our kids not to be Derek Chauvins of the future. You know, when BLM came, we could have hidden. We could have said, it's not our problem, it's out of here. We didn't shoot tear gas at them as other places. We surrounded, we embraced it. And that was part of your leadership. You don't have to physically be there, but your influence on all of us, all of the people that we had here, was very important. Not everybody sees that, but it's that we're one big, large district that we need everybody to succeed, not just people here or here or here, everyone in all of our neighborhoods. And, not giving up on attacking our biases, because, every generation forgets that we're biased, but we learn, we keep on doing it. So not giving up, just trying. And, the next president, Dr. Sophia Say, is going to have to build on your legacy, because there's that you have to do. So we might have this ethnic studies class. We don't have to wait for the state of California to do it. We can do it on our own. We can have a person specifically designed to bring our different biases and let us acknowledge and understand that. And already we have these little well springs in different schools of that. If we could have a coordinated attack of all of these issues, I think we'll end up with a better district, a better academic district, because studies show that if you have these integrated ethnic studies courses as part of your entire, imbue it within not just one class, but have it as part of your whole philosophy, as one of your strategic goals, that is going to be your long-lasting legacy on the 20,000 kids and 100,000 people of our district. So leaders make a difference. You have definitely made a difference. We are not going to be the same again, and I am very grateful to know you and privileged to serve with you. So thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Board Member Nichii. And next one will be our current clerk, Mrs. Yu. Sue, are you ready, Ms. Yu?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. I want to thank Dr. Rios for leading the board during this pandemic, executing strong leadership, dedication, and sharp discernment, and the passion to serve the underrepresented students. Although we may have different views, we have a strong mutual respect for love of children and utmost welfare of children. And despite your busy schedule, Dr. Rios, you were really committed and prepared and dedicated to our district. And just overall, throughout the past 1 year, I really saw a growth in you. I know that you came in with passion and different ideas, but I really saw you growing and really understanding the issues and understanding the entire district, not just one trustee area, but the entire district. And I really appreciated how you came to really mature and embrace the entire district. So thank you very much for your dedication. And I feel honored to serve on the board together for a few more years together. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Clerk, Ms. Yu. Really appreciate it. Now it's my turn. Okay. I remember one of our school board association conference, the keynote speaker has stated, positive leadership in challenge time, and which is this exactly applied to you. And this is what I see you under your leadership for the past year. It was a positive leadership in challenge time. You did a tremendous, great job. I want to thank you so much. And I also want to say, this is how I see you being a possible board president in the past. And it was happy and you really make us enjoy to come to the board meeting. So I want to thank you. As a teacher, I'm a teacher too, okay? There's two things that I'm looking upon you. Now, number one, it's a doctorate degree, and we have 3 doctors now. So I shared with the board member, Ms. Beach, I said, I'm going to get my doctorate degree next year. I'm going to start go to the program. If I have enough time and money, I will go for it. The second thing I want to tell you, I learned from you is you manage board meeting time so well. You make sure you control us to get out on time and 10:30, but you also make sure we get our message across to the community members. I want to thank you so much for your services. I want to thank you for you to join with us 4 years, and you work so hard. And most important is you have the positive heart in you and want to serve to all. Thank you, Dr. Rios. I really appreciate it. Okay, any other comments we have here for Dr. Rios? And Dr. Su, I think we'll give it to you now this time.
Oh, thank you so much, President Say. It has been an absolute honor to serve with Dr. Olga Rios. She is succinct as well as organized, and I know how she would conduct her own school as a result of how she has conducted with our Board of Education. I hope that you received the plaque that we sent you. Thank you so much. It's a beautiful plaque. And I want to make sure that you recognize how much all of our board members and the communities that we serve respect and honor you at this time. So as you well know, we created a slideshow for you. And so we would like to share the slideshow at this time.
Thank you, Dr. Su.
Danielle or Joey? Thank you. President Rios, it's been a challenging year, but I know that you have made it an outstanding year as our board president. Thank you so much and congratulations on your year as president of our Board of Education.
Thank you, Dr. Su, providing such a wonderful video for us. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Dr. Rios, again, once again. Do we have any other?
We have comments from Dr. Rios as well.
I know, but do we have any other comment before we give the floor to her? Do we have any other comments here? Okay, so otherwise, now I will give this to you, Dr. Rios, please. Thank you.
What a wonderful production. Thank you so much for putting that together. Congratulations, Madam President. Very happy to hand over the gavel to you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Community partnerships are incredibly important to our work as board members. And so I want to thank the elected officials and the representatives who took time to join us tonight. I want to say that I'm humbled by your comments and greatly appreciate you acknowledging the work of our district and look forward to our continued partnerships. It has been a difficult year for all of us, and yet here we are, hopefully finally heading out of this pandemic thanks to the heroic actions of our first responders. Serving this board has been a tremendous experience. When I was named president of the board, I felt an incredible sense of pride. It also meant the world to me to gain the vote of confidence of my colleagues. It was absolutely a challenge juggling being a parent, a first-year principal, and president, but a welcome challenge. You see, on our board sit heroes, each in their own right. We all have personal stories of courage and resiliency that have been catalysts for our dedication to public service. It has been an honor to sit beside them. I want to thank each of them because leading this board has made me a better person and a better leader. As president, I am most proud of maintaining the healthy culture of our board. Ernie, Letty, Sophia, Chris, Sue, and Maynard, together we managed to work through our differences and treat each other with nothing short of professionalism and civility. Our students' academic achievement and social emotional well-being always came first. To say this year will be unforgettable is a tremendous understatement. 2020, the year of the pandemic. The challenges are nothing new to our board. We are a tough bunch and know well how to persevere. Dr. King tells us that the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in a movement of comfort, but where he stands in time of challenge and controversy. Well, our board certainly rose to the challenge. Our list of accomplishments has been long. In spite of the pandemic, I think we are all confident we managed to continue to maintain a high standard for quality learning and social emotional support, albeit through distance learning to our ABC family and students, and thus continue to be a distinguished district. Many good things are ahead. You probably noticed the many upgrades at our school facilities thanks to the passing of our bond. We continue to have a wonderful working relationship with our labor unions and truly support and value our teachers and staff. And we'll continue to have an outstanding leadership team at the district level and at the school level. As a representative of Lakewood and schools in Area 6, I take pride in the accomplishments of our schools. As you know, I take special pride in our Csva High School because it was my alma mater and it continues to gain national recognition. I understand that a student is weighing his college options, one option being the prestigious MIT University. I think in Lakewood, we are proud. And at ABC, I have 2 years left in my term, and so my work continues. The biggest challenge now is our quest to attain true equity. We know this pandemic is having and will have long-lasting effects on our most vulnerable students. We need to stand for these students and work collaboratively to address learning gaps and provide the necessary support. Students need us to work much harder on their behalf. Their parents may not flood our meetings, but they care, and they are counting on us to educate their children so they can have a better life and we can have a healthy society. People would often ask me what my biggest challenge as a board member is, and I often responded that it was leveraging my position to bring about real change. Well, I am happy to report that I have figured it out. It is about asking questions. It is about holding people accountable, and it is about being bold. Newer board members, like Ernie and I, often kid around that it's not until you get to the end of your term as presidency that you feel like, hey, I got this. So we're both really looking forward to the next time we are president. In closing, I congratulate our re-elected board members, Dr. Apodaca and board member Say. I want to welcome our newest board members, Michael and Brad. I know they have rolled up their sleeves and are ready to get to work. Congratulations on your elections. As elected officials, we know that winning an election is no easy feat. I look forward to working with you and collaborating on behalf of all of our students at ABC.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ryu, being always so positive leadership in our challenge time and for our ABC. We're very honored to have you as our board president for the last year. Thank you very much. Sincerely appreciate. So next one, we'll go down to declare nomination open for our position of Dr. Who that will be the vice president. Am I right? Okay, good. So I declare nomination open for the position of Vice President. Do we have a nomination here?
Madam President, I'd like to make a nomination of Sue Yu for Vice President.
Okay.
I think she would be good because she did a great job as the clerk. She has had experience as the president, and we're going to need her steady experience. She's the second other member of our board that's had been elected by the entire district. So I think that she would definitely have the capabilities of taking up those reins again, should you have any issues.
Thank you, Board Member Nishii. Are there any other nomination on the floor here? Here none. Okay, I didn't hear any raising hands, right? Here now, I declare the nomination closed. Daniela, can you do roll call for me, please, in favor of Sue Yu as Vice President?
Yes, Dr. Apodaca,
Aye.
Mr. Beach,
Yes.
Dr. Eugenio,
Yes.
Mr. Nishi,
Yes.
Dr. Rios,
Dr. Rios?
Yes, yes, sorry.
Mrs. Say,
Of course, yes, thank you.
Mrs. Yu,
Yes.
motion passes 7-0.
So I want to announce our new Vice President, Mrs. Sue Yu.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Yu. And next one I will now declare nomination open for the position of Clerk of the Board of Education.
I'd like to nominate.
Yes, Ms. Yu.
I'd like to nominate Ernie Nishi for the clerk position. Clerk.
Are there any other nominations on the floor? You know what? I know we're on the Zoom here. If anyone has any nomination, under there's some oh, we don't have that, huh? It should be reaction. Usually reaction will, you can put your hands up so I can see who want to go for something. But anyway, here none, I declare the nomination closed. Daniela, please roll call, please.
Dr. Apodaca,
Yes.
Mr. Beach,
Yes.
Dr. Eugenio,
Yes.
Mr. Nishi,
Yes.
Dr. Rios,
Yes,
Mrs. Say,
Yes.
Mrs. Yu,
Yes.
So I'd
motion
like
passes.
to announce our new clerk, Mr. Nishii.
Thank you.
Now, the next one is to the board. I remember we would like to nominate, we have a secretary, election of the secretary. In general speaking, the president will nominate Dr. Su, which is our superintendent, as the secretary to the Board of the Education. That's how commonly practice it in our school board. Do we have any question? I'd like to ask our new elected official, Dr. Eugenio and Mr. Beach. Any question about this, about my nomination to Dr. Su as our secretary for ABC School Board?
No.
No questions.
Hear none, so do we have a second on the floor?
Yeah, second.
Thank you. Daniela, can you roll call for me, please?
Yes, Dr. Apodaca,
Yes.
Mr. Beach,
Yes.
Dr. Eugenio,
Yes.
Mr. Nishi,
Yes.
Dr. Rios,
yes.
Mrs. Say,
Yes.
Mrs. Yu,
Yes.
motion passes 7-0.
Now we talk about committee appointments. We usually will appoint a board member to the following committee and as the city liaisons. We have few committees, which is we have number one, Diversity, Unity, and Equity Board Advisory Committee. Anyone nominate for that position?
I'd like to nominate myself.
I'm going to first
Second.
one. Dr. Rios,
Yes,
and you nominate, and second by Dr. Apodaca to support that. Any other nomination? Here none, then will be definitely with Dr. Olga Rios, you'll be in charge at Diversity, Unity, and Equity Board Advisory Committee. Thank you, Alea-san. The next one will be Finance and Audit Board Advisory Committee. Anyone volunteer or nominate yourself? Okay,
So they didn't know that I was the finance person, so I'd like to re-volunteer for that particular position.
you know how to manage budget, huh?
I'll second that.
Any other nomination or so? Here none, then I will declare, I will announce Board Member Nishi will be in charge of Finance and Audit Board Advisory Committee, liaison. The third one is Strategy. Planning Board Advisory Committee.
I'd like to nominate Mr.
I'd like to do strategic planning board. Or is there anyone else? I'll open it up.
Anyone else?
Madam President, I wanted to nominate Mr. Brad Beach, given his history serving on our committees and the rapport he's built with the community serving on those committees.
Okay. It's gonna be tough. Okay, no problem. So we have two on the floor right now. One is our board member, Ms. Yu, and the other one, Mr. Beach.
Oh, Madam President?
Yes.
If that's a committee board member Brad would like to serve, I could decline my, nomination.
Thank you, board member. Thank you, Vice President, Ms. Yu. So I will, if in here none, then I will announce our strategy planning board advisory committee.
Madam President, point of order. Sorry, can we ask Mr. Beach if he actually wants to do it?
Oh,
that's what I wanted
Mr.
to
Beach,
hear.
are you there? That's right, huh?
Yeah,
Mr. Beach, he nominated you. Would you like to take the position?
I greatly appreciate the nomination, but Sue Yu sounds like she was interested in doing this, and I'm happy for her to take it.
I withdraw my nomination. Thank you.
You throw your nomination. Okay, thank you. Thank you for reminding me, and thank you, board member, Mr. Beach. So I will announce our back to the strategic planning board advisory. That will be our board member, our Vice President, Ms. Yu. The next one is the Legislative Policy Board Advisory Committee. Do we have any volunteer or nominations on the floor?
I'll take it if nobody else wants it.
Thank you, Dr. Apodaca.
I'll second that.
Apodaca.
Okay, second by board member Ms. Beach. Thank you very much. So now we go down to cities, liaisons. We'll go first on city of Tisha. In general speaking, we usually appoint it to the person who is over that city, except the Cerritos differently. So at Tisha, we normally will, I hope my board member don't mind, because board member, the newly elected, Mr. Eugenio, would you like to take that position, city of Tisha liaison?
Yes, President. I'll accept.
Thank you. And the next one will be Cerritos liaison, city of Cerritos. Anyone nominate himself or anyone would appoint someone here?
Madam President, I'd be happy to do if no one else wants to.
Any other board member on the floor would like to nominate yourself? Here none, board member Mr. Beach, you will be in charge of city of Cerritos liaison. Thank you. The next one will Hawaiian Garden liaison, which is usually to Dr. Apodaca. Would you mind take that as
With great
Hawaiian Garden liaison?
It would be a continued honor and privilege to continue working with the City of Hawaiian Gardens.
Thank you, Dr. Apodaca. Next one will be City of Lakewood.
Me.
Thank you.
Oh, wait.
wait, okay.
No, just kidding.
So thank you, Dr. Rios. You will be oversee City of Lakewood liaison. The next one will be City Norwalk. Do we have any on the floor here? We have two more. One is the City of Norwalk, and the other one's Head Start. But we have another one's the LCAP. Do we have anyone nominated for City of Norwalk?
I could take Norwalk. Take Norwalk.
Okay, thank you, Woman Vice President Ms. Yu. The next one, Head Start Board liaison. And I believe this one we have meeting once a month, and you will go to the school and join with the PTA parents. And that's how we usually Head Start. And it was a Head Start program there.
Well, it's a product of Head Start. I'd like to take this committee as well.
Okay, so board member Dr. Apodaca will be a Head Start Board liaison. The last one, Committee on School District Organization and the Los Angeles County School Trustee Association. Do we have anyone?
I'd like to nominate Ernie Nishii.
Second.
Okay, let me ask Board Member Nishii, can you take the position?
I can accept.
You
Thank you.
can? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Board Member Nishii. Okay. Now, the next one, we're going to move our approved agenda. May I have a motion to approve the agenda for regular meeting of December 15, 2020? I want to remind our two newly elected board member, you probably need to be absent since you were not there. Am I right, Dr. Su? Dr. Su, are you there?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, I just want to remind our new elected board member.
Sorry, point of order, Madam President. I apologize. Is this for
Yes.
December 15th or November 17th?
This is for December 15th.
Today, this is December, is it today, right? December 15th.
Our newly elected board members are here today, though.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. You're right. I'm
So-
thinking November. Thank you for
We're talking
reminding
about
me.
November
Thank you.
17th.
Yeah, we're talking about the next one, November 17. I'm sorry.
Right.
Oh,
Thank you.
I went too fast. Yes. Okay, may I have a motion to approve the agenda for regular meeting of December 15, 2020?
So moved. Sue?
Any
Second.
Okay, so first moved by Ms. Yu and second by Apodaca. Then please roll call. Daniela.
That was an Apodaca. I believe it might have been Beach.
Oh.
Second
did I
by
say
B.
Dr.? I'm sorry.
We can approve tonight's agenda, right?
Yes, yes, you're right.
Second.
Okay, thank you, Board Member Mr. Beach. So Daniela, can you do the roll call, please?
Yes, Dr. Apodaca,
Yes.
Mr. Beach,
Yes.
Dr. Eugenio,
Yes.
Mr. Nishii,
Yes.
Dr. Rios,
Yes.
Mrs. Say,
Yes,
Mrs. Yu.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
thank you, Daniela. Well, next one is approve the minutes, this is the one for November 17th. May I have a motion to approve the minutes for the regular meeting of November 17, 2020?
So moved, Apodaca.
Second, Sue?
So we have a move by Dr. Apodaca, second by Vice President Ms. Yu. Daniela, can you do roll call for me, please?
Dr. Apodaca,
Yes.
Mr. Nishii,
Yes.
Dr. Rios,
Yes.
Mrs. Say,
Yes,
Mrs. Yu.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0-2.
thank you, Daniela. Thank you, thank you. So next one is Superintendent Report, Dr. Su, please.
Thank you very much, President Rios.
President Say.
I'm sorry. President Say, yes. It'll take me a time to get adjusted.
Oh, yes, well, I understand. Don't worry about it.
Tonight's report, I just wanted to share some things that I participated in the last week. On Monday, December the 7th, I participated in the Cerritos Rotary Club meeting. It was great to see everyone virtually. Former board member Armin Reyes, along with retired teacher Eileen Oyama, who used to teach at Japanese at Whitney High School, participated in the event with us. Later in the afternoon, I was invited to speak at the CSBA's Asian Pacific Islander School Board Members Association, APISMA, and regarding ethnic courses. I was glad to see that former president of APISMA, Sophia Say, along with board member Ernie Nishii, as well as newly appointed board member Brad Beach, were in the event with us. A number of participants pointed out the positive nature of the conference, as well as hosting a breakout room. Although it was done virtually, I recognized the need to expand our ethnic studies program in our district. We have an ethnic studies course at Artesia High School already for the past 2 years, and we will wait until Governor Newsom signs the bill next spring. On Tuesday, December the 8th, I also joined AXA's Women's Leadership Networking event. Dr. Trudy Arriaga and authors of the book Leading While Female were the presenters during that night. It was such an enjoyable event with over 130 participants. We also want to thank Tamara Arizaga, the best of luck as she leaves ABC Unified School District. She has been the division assistant with the Business Services Office. She's leaving us to be the executive assistant to the city manager for the city of Brea. We wish her the very best of luck. We welcome this week Alice Kim, the interim division assistant to the Business Services Office this week. On Monday, yesterday, December 14th, a curative provided free COVID-19 tests to over 235 participants at Cerritos High School. We submitted a city permit for this event. Everything went very smoothly yesterday with the appointments, and there were no issues with traffic. I also want to wish everyone a wonderful winter holiday break and a happy new year. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Su. The next one will be employee representative reports. Mr. Gare, Ray, are you there?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening and congratulations, President Say. Good evening, board members, Superintendent Dr. Su, administrative cabinet, teachers, nurses, parents, and students, and ABC community members. My name is Ray Gare. I'm president of the ABC Federation of Teachers. I'm going to make this short, but I want to say congratulations to Dr. Apodaca for his reelection. That's wonderful. Congratulations to Sophia Say for her reelection. We're so glad to have her here, and I think Ernie said it great that the experience that you had is going to be very helpful. So thank you. A special congratulations for our newest ABC board members, Brad Beach and Michael Eugenio. So, that it's wonderful to have new faces on, and we look forward to working with you and seeing how we can make this district continue to push forward. So thank you. So on behalf of the ABC Federation of Teachers, we look forward to working with all of you over the next coming year. I'm sure it will be interesting. So congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Gare. You're always so kind, and thank you for always work with the school district in a positive way. And thank you very much for your support too. Okay, the next one will be public comment. Public comments. Do we have any public comment, Mr. Nishii?
Well, I should read the public comments section
Yes.
here. Persons wishing to address the board should provide public comments during the public comments section via the following method: my ABCUSD, and use the link or phone number to participate in the Zoom meeting. Using Zoom, please use the raise your hand feature during the public comments portion, which is now. If using a phone, please dial 9 to raise your hand during the public comments section. Comments should be presented during the public comments section, which is limited to 1 hour and each speaker to one presentation of 5 minutes, unless the board wishes to waive the time limit. Those who have a group concern are encouraged to select a spokesperson to address the board. And eventually I will have a stop sign and minute periods to go through that. Comments submitted regarding a specific agenda item will be presented following the staff comments and prior to the board's discussion and taking action. So the public gets to talk first. Adverse comments regarding a person's race, sex, ethnic group, identification, religion, color, national origin, sex, sexual orientation, gender, mental or physical handicap, gender expression, or age may not be made, and I will enforce that. Concerns presented to the board will be followed up and addressed by the appropriate staff member. So saying that, Mr. Smith, is there any public comments that have out there?
Thank you, Clerk Nishii. There is one right now, and that is Mr. Joe Cabrera Zerminio. And Mr. Zerminio, you may begin. You have 5 minutes, sir. Please.
You must unmute yourself.
There you go.
In the lower left-hand corner.
Go ahead, Mr. Zerminio.
Mr. Zermenio, you may speak. You are unmuted.
Is he here? Let's look at.
Why don't we come back to him to keep this moving, and we'll move on to the next person, who is Kirit Chauhan. Mr. Chauhan, you have 5 minutes. Unmute.
Mr. Chauhan, you may unmute. Your time is starting.
Good evening, President Say, Vice President Yu, Clerk Nishi, board members, Dr. Apodaca, Brad Beach, Dr. Eugenio, and Dr. Rios. I welcome the new board. Today is a day of celebration because we have a new board and we have a new horizon to aim for the students of ABC. I will remain a district person who engages with you to make sure our students deserve and get what they need in order to succeed during this pandemic and post-pandemic. Thank you and good night.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will move on. We'll try to get to Mr. Zermenio again. Joy, you can talk. There you go. You're unmuted. Please go ahead. We still can't hear you.
Is he in the, let me see. I think he signed up. I don't see his name into.
His name is there. He is unmuted.
Is it there? Oh, yes, I saw that. No,
Maybe
that's
his
a
microphone is not working.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Clerk Nishi, I'll leave it up to your judgment here.
Well, he has.
We can just move on.
Just move on. Yeah, because he's not mute either. So, can we call for the next one, Clerk, Mr. Nishi?
Sure. Are there any other public comments?
There are no other hands raised at this time.
Okay, then let's give him another 15 seconds to figure out the system.
It may be that he has to allow the audio for his computer.
Joe, are you there?
Okay, I think that he's not able to figure out the sound system. Maybe at the very end he can figure it out. We'll give him the balance of time at the second public comment section to try to make the public comment. Maybe that was 1 minute 40 seconds.
Okay.
Okay. So I think next is consent items. Madam President?
Oh, okay. So we close the public comments right now. Okay.
Yes.
So the next one is a consent calendar. I want to let two newly elected board members know. Usually we vote as one because it's a routine agenda consent calendar. When we go to the action item, that will be one by one. So may I have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So moved, Apodaca.
Nishi, second.
So we have Dr. Apodaca and Clerk Nishi second.
Madam President, before we vote on this, can I ask a question of staff, please?
Yes, that's what I'm going to say after we have moved motion and second. The next one I will say, is there anyone who wishes to remove or any item to be considered separately, or if none, then we favor to say yes. So go ahead, board member, Mr. Beach.
Thank you very much. At this time, I'm not asking to remove the item. I just wanted to ask staff if they provided the board with a similar report about the cafeteria salaries from other districts and ours.
Good point. Dr. Su, would you like to give some,
Absolutely. We have not done the report yet. We will provide the report to the full board when it is completed.
Dr. Su, can the staff provide an adequate report, or do we need to hire this private firm to do it?
We have to hire this private firm. That was the agreement that we made.
Okay, thank you.
so board member, Mr. Beach, would you like to put this item out to vote, or you want to vote today?
I'm okay moving forward. Thank you.
Go forward. Okay. So if none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
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 So all approved. Am I correct? Because this one we don't call roll call. Danielle, maybe we should do one roll call. Danielle, would you please do roll call for me, please, Danielle?
Yes, Dr. Apodaca,
Yes.
Mr. Beach,
Yes.
Dr. Eugenio,
Yes.
Mr. Nishi,
Yes.
Dr. Rios,
Yes.
Mrs. Say,
Yes.
Mrs. Yu.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you, Danielle. Now we are on to action items. 1.3-8, the calendar year 2021 board meetings. May I have a motion to approve calendar year 2021 board meetings?
So moved, Sue.
Second, Rios.
So it's moved by Vice President Ms. Yu and second by Dr. Rios. Okay. Any public comments, Danielle?
Ernie.
Any
Ernie?
public comments, Danielle?
Sorry, I should ask Ernie.
There are no public comments at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any discussion from our board here?
Yes, I have a comment and a question. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So
Vice
we are
President.
going to have a total of 18 board meetings for 2021, right?
We're back to what we were before.
Okay.
I mean,
How many board meetings did we have in 2020?
2020, we changed towards the end. We take a lot. We only do like once a board meeting. Dr. Su,
Dr.
can you
Su?
count it for us, please?
Or Danielle, do you guys have the count in your head? How many board meetings we had in 2020?
Yes, there was 16 board
16?
meetings.
16. Okay.
Danielle.
So which was pretty similar because of pandemic. We had a lot of meetings and long meetings. Hopefully this year, since we can spread it out, we can have a timely board meeting. Thank you very much. Back to you, Madam President.
Madam
Except when-
President.
Yes,
if I
Dr.
may.
Rios. Go ahead. Yes, please.
Yeah, sorry, I kind of, I did have a question about this. I was wondering if the board would be okay with us either moving up the July 20th meeting to August or just deleting it altogether. I think it's important that we take some time in the summer to reset. And I like that our meetings align with our school calendar. And I noticed we have 2 meetings in June, we have a meeting in August. And so I propose that we, again, delete the Tuesday, July 20th meeting.
Is any other board member make some comments on this matter? Okay, delete the July 20th. I like, you know what? Let me call I like Dr. August, Dr. Rios did it before, call every single board member. So I like to call Dr. Apodaca.
Thank you, Madam President. I think it's given that we're dealing with a pandemic and things tend to change. I'm not opposed to moving it back or moving it forward, maybe putting it in August and keeping it open if something happens in July for having an emergency meeting. But given the proximity to a new school year, I mean, I'd rather have some more communication than less before we start a new school year. I'm not opposing the motion or the comment from Dr. Rios. I just, given the times, I think we should have more communication with the public than less. Thank you.
Board member, Mr. Beach.
I'm in favor of keeping the meeting for now. We heard a lot of sentiment from the residents when we started cutting meetings last year. They were unhappy that they couldn't give their comments. If we wanted to move this meeting earlier in July or into August, I'm not opposed to that, but I do like that we at least have a full month off between the July and August meeting for, family vacations and taking some time off. So I could go either way. I'd like to hear from the rest of the board.
Board member, Dr. Eugenio.
I'm for keeping the amount 18 board meetings. Moving it would be okay, but I would like to have the residents and the parents and students be able to, their voices be able to be heard. So I'm for keeping 18, but I'm not opposed to having them moved.
And board member Nishii, any comments, any suggestion?
So I think the only issue here is in terms of staff and their ability to address the issues in a timely manner if we don't have a meeting. They would have to adapt and either have whatever items that they would need for the following school year approved in June 15th, which will make the June 15th agenda, June 15th and probably June 1st agenda pretty busy. So if we moved it back, it might make it easier for them. If we moved it forward, then there may not be enough time for us to procure the materials that we would have for the new school year. So I'm thinking the July meeting might be very, hopefully it's short if we have one. So I'm kind of neutral with this. We could, what does the superintendent think in terms of the a July meeting being eliminated? Would staff be able to adapt and get the items on the agenda with the writer reports and everything in a timely manner?
I will get, Dr. Su, can you answer that?
Sure. In my opinion, it really does depend on the board's motion to pass this agenda item for the calendar for the 2021 school year. It really does depend on the board's action tonight. I can go either way. We will make it either way.
And I can make a suggestion. I did hear that some of our board members, we're not opposed to moving it up. We have the first meeting in August is August 17th. That's 3 weeks in. So I would propose that we have that. We can still have a meeting. Gosh, I just had it. We have 2 Tuesdays before that, the 3rd and the 10th. So we move July 20th to maybe August 3rd.
So moved.
I'll second that.
So,
And I think that's
actually,
That's
can I
second
make
week.
a
Yeah,
comment?
okay. Unless you guys put it in the vote there. Otherwise, I know you, Dr. Oga, vote for the change since they're putting the floor to voting right now.
Yeah. Sophie, can I make a comment? You skipped me.
I didn't skip you. They already put on to vote. The vote.
No, you guys, everybody got to talk.
Already. They made a motion.
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead, Vice President.
Is it okay?
Yes.
Yeah. I was going to suggest that because it's post-pandemic and we might not be able to open open in person for spring semester, but in the fall for sure, which means there's going to be a lot of work, a lot of decisions to be made. So I think that we should have the meetings, but if we want to, move to July, I think the August 3rd, if the staff, they're okay, then August 3rd would give us the staff give us good time to discuss the issues and opening up and so forth, because there's a lot of catch up to do, learning, everything, a lot of catch up. So August 3rd, I was going to recommend have a meeting August 3rd, and then 2 weeks we have August 17th. So we won't skip any meeting, but we'll just push the July meeting to August 3rd, was my suggestion. And so did Dr. Olga Rios was thinking the same thing. Thank you very much.
It seems like we have second motions in here. Dr. Olga, Dr. Rios, can you restate what you said? And then we'll put on the second and we vote for that.
Okay, well, it's probably an amendment to the first motion. We delete the July 20th meeting and move it up to an August 3rd meeting.
Okay. So
second.
Thank you. Danielle, can you please roll call?
Dr. Apodaca,
Yes.
Mr. Beach,
Yes.
Dr. Eugenio,
Yes.
Mr. Nishii,
Yes.
Dr. Rios,
Yes.
Mrs. Say,
Yes.
Mrs. Yu.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. So now we go down to 1.4-8, Resolution 20-41, the Great Kindness Challenge Week. May I have a motion to adopt Resolution 20-41, acknowledging January 25 to 29, 2021, the Great Kindness Challenge Week.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Clerk, any public comment?
Scott, is there any public comment on this item?
No, sir.
Thank you. No public comments.
Any discussion on board or food? Just make sure this is the one. Dr. Su, do you have anything to say? Or this is from Dr. Rios and Dr. Mary Sue. Any explanation to the public?
This is the Great Kindness Challenge Week is something that we have adopted in the past. And so I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that it's on January the 25th through the 29th in 2021.
Thank you, Dr. Su. Daniel, can you roll call please for me, Daniel?
Dr. Apodaca,
Yes.
Mr. Beach,
Yes.
Dr. Eugenio,
Yes.
Mr. Nishii,
Yes.
Dr. Rios,
Yes.
Mrs. Say,
Yes.
Mrs.
One other
Yu,
thing I do, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Danielle.
Mrs. Yu.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you, Danielle. I'd like to ask Dr. Michael Eugenio or Eugenio, which way I suppose call you? I keep calling you Eugenio. Am I right or it's wrong?
Oh, Eugenio's the American way. I prefer the Filipino way, Eugenio.
How to say that? Eugenio?
Eugenio.
Eugenio. Okay, I'll practice that. Thank you,
No
Dr.
problem.
Eugenio. Thank you. So next one is going to the 1.5-8, California School Board Association CSBA Delegate Assembly nomination. May I have a nomination? May I have a motion that Board of Education nominate a board member for the California School Board Association, which is CSBA Delegate Assembly on or before January 7, 2021? Can I have a motion first, please?
I make a motion to nominate. Do we make a nomination now?
We move first, then we move discussion, then we nomination, I think.
Okay. So I move.
Thank you. Any second? Now the board member.
Second, Apodaca.
Okay, thank you. Now the board member can nominate the people right now to our board. Dr. Rios?
I nominate Ernie Nishi to continue on as our delegate representative.
Is Mr. Nishi, are you term out now or you still have 2 more years to go?
This would be my, I would need to be reelected.
Reelect, okay. And
Second.
let me go to the, okay. Let me go to any public comment first. No, we nominate first, I'm sorry. So second by Mr. Beach. Dr. Su, do we have how many positions open for that, for delegate?
We can nominate one only.
Only, okay. I just want to make that clear. Okay, thank you. Any public comments? Any discussion? If none, I will ask for a roll call. Danielle, please.
Dr. Apodaca,
Yes.
Mr. Beach,
Yes.
Dr. Eugenio,
Yes.
Mr. Nishii,
Yes.
Dr. Rios,
Yes.
Mrs. Say,
Yes.
Mrs. Yu.
Yes.
I do want to.
7-0.
Thank you. I do want to say, board member Clerk Nishi has done a lot of great job in delegate assembly in our CSB, and most people probably not aware of that. He has participated a lots and lots of program over there. I believe he also appointed position by the CSBA president. Am I correct, Board Member Nishii?
That's correct. She's appointed me to a special committee on the legislative review.
Thank you for your dedication. Thank you.
Thank you.
So next one's 1.6-8 contract with NEPRIS. May I have a motion to approve request to contract with the NEPRIS Incorporation, a college and career readiness platform that connects educators and learners with a network of industry professionals virtually, bringing a real-world relevance and career exposure to all students.
So moved, Apodaca.
Thank you, Dr. Apodaca.
Second, Beach.
Thank you. Any public comments? And I think Dr. Su, you have some explanation here, right? You're going to present this.
What we want to do is, I know Dr. Christina Wise is with us today, and she will make the presentation tonight.
So we're going to have
Dr. Christina Wise.
Okay, Dr. Christina Wise, the floor is yours.
Mike,
Is microphones on?
please unmute yourself.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Congratulations to our new board president and kudos to all of our board members tonight. I'm just here to talk a few bit about NEPRIS, one of the programs that will support our CTE students this year. NEPRIS is one of a kind company in which they offer asynchronous as well as synchronous learning, where our students have the opportunities to explore a career. We're really proud of our relationship with NEPRIS. We were able to meet and connect with them over the last 18 months in which we've been in position to really talk about how they can support our advisory as well as parent meetings. They actually give our students an opportunity to meet live presenters from different companies and be able to do it from any aspect that we would like for them to do for NEPRIS. And so it's going to be a good collaboration between NEPRIS and ABC Unified School District.
Thank you, Dr. Weiss. Now, I just want to remind our two newly elected board members, after the staff presented about this agenda, then we'll put on the floor here for this board discussion. If you have any question, this is the time to ask the staff and our superintendent. So I still go call by the name first. It'll be easier to control everyone has chance to present your idea or your suggestion or your concern. So I will start with on the back. So we'll play Vice President, Ms. Yu.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Madam President. Dr. Christina Wise. So this program is, how different is it with Naviance?
This program actually brings us live presenters. So for example, if we have students that want to explore engineering as an example, then this provider is able to actually bring us presenters, whether or not we ask for presenters from a certain college or a certain gender or a certain race. We're able to ask this question so that they can itemize what we need to present for our students. And so our students will really get a chance to interact with people that are current to the field. There is no other company that does quite the same work or can individualize the presenters like NEPRIS can.
So how can the students have access to this program? Can they access it anytime, or there's a designated schedule for certain school and certain class?
We will be working with our teachers and our CTE program to design programs to allow for this process to work for our students. One of the things that we promise in our CTE programs is that they have a real live experience in our program, and NEPRIS will be able to provide that by providing the actual people in the work field into their classrooms. That's why it is unique, because in the past, we bet ourselves on having presenters come into the classroom, and through NEPRIS, they will actually be able to have a computerized or through a virtual learning experience for our students.
Thank you. That's like a very, very great program for our students, practical.
We are very pleased. I think it's one of a kind. Thank you.
Thank you.
Board Member Yu.
Thank you, Madam President.
Dr. Yu, please. Dr. Yu. Dr. Rio, sorry, Dr. Rios.
I have no comments. Sounds like a great program.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Rios.
Board member, Mr. Nishii, Clerk.
I have no questions. I've already asked the questions in advance. Looks like a good program.
Then
Thank you.
this is going to be challenging again now. I'm going to ask Dr. Eugenio, right? Eugenio?
Eugenio.
Eugenio.
Hello,
I
Dr.
have no questions at this time.
Thank you. Board member, Mr. Beach.
I did some research on this project and I'm excited to see it rolled out. Is it going to all high schools, even Tracy?
The offerings will be for all of our CTE programs, so even our program at Tracy High School.
Okay, thank you.
Now the last to Dr. Apodaca.
Great question by Mr. Beach. That was actually what I was going to ask, so I'm glad to hear that. And I'm grateful to Mr. Nishi for getting these answers out to us before the meeting. That was very informative and it makes the vote a lot simpler. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Apodaca.
Thank you. That was really great. We have such wonderful board members, know everything. We have board member Apodaca knows about industry and business. And we have a board member, Mr. Beach, know about safety. We also know Dr. Eugenio also aware about safety and physical therapy things that really helps our special ed students. And we have a lawyer, Nishi, here, and we have educator, Dr. Rios and Suyu. So I think we have a perfect team here for 2020 to 2024. I want to thank you again. So the next one will go to, so we're going to go to vote. And Danielle, please, a roll call.
Dr. Apodaca,
Yes.
Mr. Beach,
Yes.
Dr. Eugenio,
Yes.
Mr. Nishii,
Yes.
Dr. Rios,
Yes.
Mrs. Say,
Yes.
Mrs. Yu, Mrs. Yu.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you, Board of Education.
Thank you. Next one's 1.7-8, contract with certification and career pathway readiness group, ILC 2 CPR. May I have a motion to approve request to contract with certification and career pathway readiness group to support ABCUSD CTE program in line with the 11 elements of high quality of CTE program as mandated by Perkins v. Law and the California Department of Education. May I have a motion to move?
So moved, Apodaca.
Nishi, second.
Thank you. Any public comments?
No, ma'am.
Is Dr. Weiss also you're going to present this one?
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity again, Madam President.
Thank you.
We're so very excited about this in particular relationship. Back in 2016, we received a federal program monitoring review of our CTE programs. And we believe that is normally a 4-year cycle. So we believe that this cycle will again return to us in 2020-21. And so in preparation for that process, we have found another group through our research and training and just a small community of CTE people and looking for the best and brightest for ABC. We will be working with Angela Allison and Sean Bluesome. They are part of the 2C3 group. And their objectives are to help us realign or make sure that all of our programs are up to date and current with the virtual environment as we prepare for our program monitoring review. This is in compliance with our grants. And so over the last 18 months, CTE has received another grant just this month of $865,000 to support our CTE programs. This company is going to work with us to align all of our standards and all of our core syllabi to the actual standards as we prepare for CPM. We are so excited. Most companies really work on a K. Most companies that we've reviewed normally work with a junior or the community college forum. This company specifically works with our K-12 schools. They have worked in Orange County schools and have a very good reputation and work of how they help schools prepare for program monitoring. So we're very pleased to be working with them. Their jobs this semester is to come out and work with our teachers to provide professional development, to prepare their core syllabi and course, as well as make sure that our classrooms and our CTE environment are ready for the virtual environment or completing the virtual environment. We're very excited about this relationship.
Thank you, Dr. Weiss. Clerk, Mr. Nishi, do we have any public comment for this item?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Now I'll give back to our board members. Any discussion?
You going down the line or are you opening it up?
I'm going to open now to Dr. Apodaca, you now.
Okay, I didn't know if you were going to go in order. Thank you, Madam President. I think it's important that the public know that even during this pandemic, we're still looking at career technical education, which is very important. It's a trade that we can, trades that we can extend to our students and make sure that they have a career right after graduation. I want to thank the staff because this is something we've been working on for years. And the fact that we got that huge grant, $865,000,
$885,000.
even better, $885,000 for our students. You know, there's no doubt that that's a significant contribution to our efforts to promote CTE, and our students will obviously benefit from it. But thank you, staff. Great job on the grant work. My understanding is that they can be quite daunting. So thank you for your hard work, and yeah, I think we should vote for this. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Apodaca.
Board member, Mr. Beach.
My only comment is I'm excited to see the sports medicine program at Gar High School, my alma mater. I'm a kinesiology minor, so that's important to me, and I'm glad we're offering it. Thank you.
Look forward to working with you.
Thank you. Dr. Eugenio.
I want to thank you for providing this service at this time. Thanks so much, Dr. Weiss.
Thank you. Next one will be board member Nishii.
Are there anything for Cerritos High School or Artesia in this program for 100,000?
We created that pathway because Gar High School was the only one that didn't have a medical pathway. And based on the vote that the students had given in a survey that they had requested that course. However, it is to support all medical pathways, but the majority of the funding will go to building that new pathway at that school site.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I did want to make one other note that Sasha Leonardo worked really hard on the grant. Before we have worked with other people to provide our grant, but Sasha is the steer person in this grant writing for us for ABC. So kudos.
So
to
Whitney lost the big person when she lost Sasha.
That's why I had to tell you.
I know. I know. Yeah, we need it though. Thank you. Board member Dr. Rios.
No comments.
Board member Ms. Yu. Vice President Ms. Yu.
Thanks a great program.
Thank you. So now I'm going to ask our Danielle, please roll call.
Dr. Apodaca,
Yes.
Mr. Beach,
Yes.
Dr. Eugenio,
Yes.
Mr. Nishii,
Yes.
Dr. Rios,
Yes.
Mrs. Say,
Yes.
Mrs. Yu.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Next one, 4.7-8. May I have a motion to adopt Emerging Resolution 20-42, award of emergence contract for purchase of COVID-19 related equipment and rental and services.
Before you go on, President Say, we need to go back to 3.6A, contract with Project Optimism.
Did I miss that one? Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you, Secretary Dr. Su. Okay, may I have a motion? This is a 3.6-8. May I have a motion to approve request to contract with the Project Optimism to provide Gar High School 9th grade students engaging workshops that contribute to their academic development and social emotional well-being for 2020 to 2021 school year.
So moved, Apodaca.
Second by Su. Okay, thank you. Any public comment? Clerk Nishii?
There are none.
And we have a staff will present this one. Am I right? It's by Dr. Valencia Mayfield.
That's correct.
Okay. Go ahead, Dr. Mayfield.
Good evening, Board President, Mrs. Say, and members of the board. We're excited this evening that Gar High School will have the opportunity to provide mentoring support as well as academic tutoring for 64 students in grade 9 who have need of additional support. This will take place during the school day. they have been assigned a learning lab period. And so they will have a chance to meet in small groups with their mentors on a 1-to-3 ratio to receive mentor support regarding goal setting, how to kind of think through their decision-making process, as well as helping to frame their future goals and to make sure that they're aligning their decisions with the goals that they're hoping to achieve. The academic support will be provided across any subject area. And so we're excited to bring Project Optimism to GAR High School to work directly with their students that GAR has identified for this project.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to put on the discussion. Oh, I'm going to start with Ms. Yu first, from the back to the front.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Dr. Mayfield. I think this is a fantastic program during this pandemic, and it's good to see that it's rolled out at, GAR High School low performing student block grant, and it seems like it's used for the right, group, and there's a great need. I wonder if something like this can be rolled out at other high schools as well, because I know that the teachers and the counselors can easily identify the students who are struggling unusually, like because of pandemic, with the mental health issues and, so forth. Because I think that I'm not sure how the cost is used, but usually hiring, college students with the supervision and like 3-to-1, it just sounds like a great, a program. And I think our students will really, benefit from this kind of environment and, personal touch.
Yes, thank you for the question, Vice President Yu. Typically, what we see happen throughout the district is that a school will introduce a new program or a new partnership, and from there, other schools have a chance to ask questions to see how things are going, talk to students and see how they're responding to the service, and then decide from there if that's a program or opportunity they want to provide at their school. Myself, along with Dr. Lois and the principal of Artesia High School, had a chance to meet with the CEOs of Project Optimism. So I believe that Artesia High School will also be considering working with them in the near future as well. So we will potentially see this at other schools in the ABC.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Mayfield. And next one, I would like to call Dr. Rios.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we were talking about earlier. And so I'm very interested in monitoring this program and have staff report back to us about, what the outcomes were for these 64 students. We know that intervention usually pays off in big ways. So I definitely would like to have staff come back and give us a report as far as, what kind of improvements they saw as far as grades, retention, et cetera.
Absolutely, Dr. Rios will provide that for you at the end of the grading period.
Thank you. Clerk, Ms. Yi?
Yes, actually, I echo that concern with Dr. Rios in terms of metrics, to making sure that we are getting measured results and a positive result rather than continuing to pay for the same thing. Wondering, was the contract competed, or was it something where they just knew this person and that was?
It doesn't require, this contract does not require a competitive bidding process. This company is providing a unique service, and so we are able to work with them. Typically, our principals hear about different presenters from conferences that they have attended and workshops, and as well as through partnerships that they have with other organizations. And so they have a chance to learn about these opportunities from colleagues in the field, and that's how they're typically introduced to us, and then they explore them and we bring them on board.
Yeah, I understand that most of these projects are not competed. I just, sometimes if there's a particular field or area and everybody knows that there's a competition, then we can potentially get a better price rather than the one who's at the conference. So just, if we can try to compete some of the contracts.
We're really good at negotiating costs. And so for the most part, we're very pleased with the prices that we're able to get with the different companies that we work with.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next one, Dr. Eugenio.
I have no questions. I just want to thank Dr. Mayfield for the providing additional support for our at-risk and struggling students. Thank you again.
Thank you for your kind words. Board Member Mr. Beach.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the results of this project, and if successful, I'd like to see it rolled out to the other high schools.
Thank you. Dr. Apodaca.
Thank you, Madam President. So quickly for staff, for Dr. Mayfield, what is the sensitivity as far as, or confidentiality as far as the interventions go and these group meetings? Is it to the point where it's severe, where we wouldn't be able to have a student or two come back and report to the board meeting, or is it open enough to where we could have, students actually tell us what a difference it has made in their progress?
Thank you, Apodaca, for the question. I do believe that it would be appropriate for students to share about their experience. I mean, these mentorships are around goal setting, helping them to plan for their future, as well as helping them to make right academic choices and to make improvement in their academic progress. And so I will work with the principals to see if we can have a couple of students share highlights from their experience. I think student voice is very powerful, and I'm quite sure part of this is student leadership, and being a leader is being able to speak publicly. So I'll talk to Dr. Loyce regarding that opportunity for a couple of students to share at the end of the program.
Great, thank you very much. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Oh, well, I can't wait to see the outcome too. One of the things I really like very much about this project is the family of the participating students will also have access to a parent workshop focused on support service for their students. We are trying to teach our students as much as we can, but we have to get buy-in by the parent, and this program has that, which I really like it. Thank you very much. So Daniel, please, roll call, please.
Dr. Apodaca,
Yes.
Mr. Beach,
Yes.
Dr. Eugenio,
Yes.
Mr. Nishii,
Yes.
Dr. Rios,
Yes.
Mrs. Say,
Yes.
Mrs. Yu,
Yes.
motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. 4.7-8. May I have a motion to adopt Emergency Resolution 20-42, award of emergency contract for purchase of COVID-19 related equipment and the service, rental and services.
So moved, Apodaca.
Eugenio, second.
Thank you. Mr. Noy?
Thank you, Board President Say.
Thank you, Tuan.
This is not a normal year. That's an understatement. So things changes daily, and the services that we may need, we don't know until the situation actually presented itself. I mean, when this thing started back in March, if you were to ask me that we will be providing COVID-19 testing services to staff, I'm going to say that's not possible, but that's what we are looking to do. So the emergency resolution basically pre-authorized staff to research and to look for competitive pricing for the services that we may need or will need should we go back and reopen in person whenever that is that the board approved. So that if we were to looking at, for example, test staff for as part of our safety protocols, test staff on a rotation basis for COVID-19. So we can do that with this pre-authorization and still bring back the contract to the board for approval after we, search all the competitive pricing and all of that, because the services could also change itself. Today's December 15. We are looking at the fastest turnaround would be the 24 hours PRC test. In March, it could be a test that we can get back in a couple of hours. So we don't know, and it could be a much less painful test too. So we're still exploring that. There's a possibility that we need to rent a lot of those big giant wedding tents to put in the middle of the quad for students to be out there to either for classrooms or for lunchtime or what other things. So that's another option. We might need to rent or purchase a lot of portable air purifiers. That's one of the things we're looking at. So this authorizations is a second authorizations. A few months back, the board approved another emergency resolution ready to purchase all the PPE equipment for student and staff. And this will be for services and for rental services. and any other services that we may need.
Thank you.
That's my
Thank you,
report.
Mr. Rowan. Thank you. Now I'm going to call from any public comments? Clerk, Ms. Nishii.
There are none.
Now we'll put on the floor for our board discussion. I start with Vice President Ms. Yu.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Tuan, I have a question. I know that right now we have some classes going on, like childcare, right, in different campuses. I know that many parents don't want to send the kids to school, but I know that there are families who have to have childcare. And during our childcare, will this fund be used for plexiglasses for the classrooms as well?
So this is for testing services for plexiglasses. If we need to, the board has approved that already under the under the other resolution for PPE, personal protective equipment. So that includes mask or shields or plexiglass if we need to, and all those related that. This is more for testing services, COVID-19 testing services, but plexiglass has been approved already. Should we need to, we will provide that. There's a debate between the benefits of that and how students could react to, you know, a small plexiglass on the desk on a daily basis. So we still exploring that. That is not a recommendation for all students at this point. Now, mask, that's a recommendation, but not the plexiglass.
I see. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Dr. Rios?
No comments or questions.
Board Member Nishii, Clerk Nishii.
So real quick, I remember previously we had authorized about $4 million of expenditures on the masks and things like that. And I'm kind of glad that we're not spending too much on the plastic, although I did see a lot of plastic at the district. I mean, there's a lot of plastic there. But in terms of this $1 million, it's going to be going for the service. How are we doing with the spending of the previous $4 million?
So we are on track. As you know, that we have about 15 days left to spend the $12 million in the different category. So we have purchased as much as we can, from MERV 13 filters to all the PPE equipment, and we just stack them up and to make sure that we spend all that federal funds by December 30th. So we on track, and we have basically provide sites with everything they need, and also in anticipation for things that we may need should we reopen in person. So that's a nice balance, but the goal was to able to spend all that federal money and purchase as much as we could.
I like that we're spending it on the filters, because that has just demonstrated to have some effectiveness in terms of the science on this stuff. Learning loss and technology, were we on target to spend the 800,000, or did we spend a little bit more? Because again, I'm not upset if we spent more on technology.
We
or at least
actually
faster technology.
spent more on that because we decided to purchase headsets for students, also a lot of hotspots, and we upgrade computers for 1,000 of our teachers, and also devices for students for 20,000 students. So yes, we actually between the tip money in the supplemental funds and the federal funds, we are spending down every dollar plus some.
Plus you spent more on technology, which I'm thankful for. I really appreciate that.
Yes.
No further questions. I think you've done a good job of spending that money.
Thank you.
Dr. Eugenio?
No questions at this time.
Thank you. Board Member Mr. Beach?
Thank you, Madam President. I have a couple questions for Tuan. Does this money have to be allocated by the 31st of this month?
It has to be spent by the 30th of this month, not the 31st. Why the 30th? That's just the law. Yes, sir.
Okay, and this $1 million would be just for testing supplies?
So it could be up to that. It could be for rentals of tents. It could be for any other services we might need. What we do, and the way we do that, is if we have a contract in place, if the money is encumbered, then legally it can consider spent from a federal perspective. So that's why, you know, we have the item today, so we can, if we need to, we can contract that with the federal government and not with the federal money. Having said that, so that's the goal, to spend it by December 30th. If we're not able to do that, there's a smaller second part of money that was extended through June that we can also tap into should we need this service, say in March. But as long as we have a PO in place by December 30th, then the money is considered encumbered.
Okay, because my biggest concern with this item is, you know, with the rapid growth of the vaccine, we buy $1 million worth of testing kits and we start school in the fall and we no longer need the testing kits because most people have the vaccine, right? So I would like to see us spend more on technology, like Ernie said, or things that would be here forever, and then have the option in the summer to buy some of this if we need to. Does that make sense?
Correct, and this will allow us just to do that. We're not committing to $1 million of testing services. That's not what this is about. This is just authorize staff to negotiate and have an agreement with that should we need to, but we not commit to.
Okay, in that case, I probably would support this as long as there wasn't a purchase order for the testing kits by the end of this month and then we were committed to it. If we can wait, that would be more beneficial to us, I think.
Correct. Yes, we always, I don't want to say we don't do business that way, but no, we're not committing to that, sir.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. That was a really great question. And it's my question too for that too. Thank you, Board Member Mr. Beach. Next one, Dr. Apodaca.
No comments, Madam President.
Yeah, Torn, same thing with me. The coronavirus vaccines being out there already, and I too support Board Member Mr. Beach and our clerk, Mr. Nishii, talk about it. And we need to focus on the technology issue because testing is only short term. If we spend so much money by this and that, and by the time vaccine coming right away, it started already on first phase for the healthcare provider. Next one will be go to our teacher, and next the third period will go to the high risk age group people. So I do support that. So furthermore, no discussion. I will have to ask Danielle for a roll call.
Dr. Apodaca,
Yes.
Mr. Beach,
Yes.
Dr. Eugenio,
Yes.
Mr. Nishi,
Yes.
Dr. Rios,
Yes.
Mrs. Say,
Yes.
Mrs. Yu.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. 4.8-8, I have a motion to approve bid award ABC-1561 various grants equipment to the following as lowest responsible bidders. I think it's called Stotts Equipment and Tiger Line Equipment as lowest responsible bid.
So moved, Beach.
Second, Sue.
Any public comments?
No, ma'am.
Board discussion? Ms. Yu?
None.
Dr. Rios?
We can't hear you.
No comments or questions.
Thank you. Ms. Nichi?
Just how many bids do we get and where do we advertise?
So we kind of anticipate this question from you, Mr. Tinishi. So we did get several bids on both of these items. So I want to talk a little bit about that. The sweeper, this is for the grounds department. Stotts Equipment won the bid for the sweeper, and Tiger Line is for the trailer with that. And between those two items is actually under the bid limit. The bid limit is about $98,000, but we anticipate to purchase more over this year. We're still assessing needs, so that's why we're taking it to the board. And even if it's under the bid limit, we still go out and get 3 competitive bids. So we get 3 for each of these, and Stotts and Tiger Line are the 2 lowest ones. And because of this bid, it's also allow other districts to piggyback on our bid now, should they choose to do that. Usually that's what we do. We piggyback on other districts. If you know, that save time and money because other districts have bid it already. But this time we are bidding it ourselves because they would like this specific kind of sweeper and trailer. So we get 3 for both, and this is the lowest ones.
Okay, thank you. That was a great question. Dr. Eugenio?
No questions at this time.
Thank you. Board Member Mr. Beach?
No comments. Thank you.
Dr. Apodaca?
None, Madam President. Thank you.
Daniel, roll call, please.
Dr. Apodaca,
Yes.
Mr. Beach,
Yes.
Dr. Eugenio,
Yes.
Mr. Nishii,
Yes.
Dr. Rios,
Yes.
Mrs. Say,
Yes.
Mrs. Yu,
Yes.
motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. Now towards our board member reports. We're starting from the front. Dr. Apodaca?
Thank you, Madam President. I said most of what I had to say after being sworn in. I do want to welcome our newly elected board members and say that I welcome working with you and the opportunity to advance our district. And you can ask anybody. I'm very approachable. And as long as we keep the main thing, you know, I'm confident that we'll be able to provide our students, again, with a free, quality public education. And I'd like to thank the City of Hawaiian Gardens and the constituents, mostly, you know, those who decided not to run and saved me quite a bit of time and effort by being unopposed. So I want to look at it as a bit of confidence from my constituents that I've been doing a decent job, and I'm always committed to doing a great job. So thank you very much and good night. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Board Member Mr. Beach?
I wanted to congratulate President Sophia Say for her appointment back to the board. It's nice having a nurse with us during these COVID times. Michael Eugenio, Chris Apodaca, and I do have to apologize to my long friend, Michael. We started school together at Bragg when we were 8 years old, and he's always been Michael Eugenio to me. So saying his name differently now is going to take a little practice, but I'll work on it. I'd also like to thank staff, starting with Dr. Sue, Dr. Zitlow, Dr. Mayfield, Tuan Nguyen, the entire HR department, and Danielle. You've been wonderful during this transition for me. I've met with all of you, and I appreciate your time greatly. I'd also like to thank Dandy DePaula, Bragg PTA, the U.S. Census Bureau, Grace First Presbyterian Church, the Korean Consulate General for their donations to the district. I toured Nixon Academy today, saw the new 3 playgrounds that have gone in. They're beautiful. The kids are going to love them as soon as they can start playing. And I wanted to just make an announcement about committee reports. Madam President, I'd like to have that on the January agenda for us to make appointments to committees. I would also like to put out to the public, if anybody's interested in serving, I'm sure all of us would accept applications, or you can turn them directly into the district and we'll see them. I'll consider anybody for appointment. You can reach out to us at our email addresses. And I'd also like to mention to the public that I'm declining my medical benefits from the district, and I'm also declining a stipend in lieu of medical benefits. So I wanted all the residents to know that. Finally, I'd like to thank Mayor Pro Tem Chong Vo for swearing me in today. And I'd also like to thank the Southern Cerritos residents for not deciding to run against me. It made my life a lot easier. I got to spend a lot more time with the family, and I'm very happy and honored once again to represent the ABC residents and students. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Board Member Beach. Next one will be Dr. I thought Eugenio, right? Eugenio.
Yes, Madam President.
The floor is yours. Welcome.
Thank you. Just want to say thank you, everyone. Congratulations to all the elected board members. Like I said, this is the great honor for me to serve at the district that I was raised in. And just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas to all. Have a safe and happy New Year. May you all and your families have good health and many blessings this coming New Year. And thank you again.
Thank you and welcome. Clerk Nishii.
Yes, I always have something to say. I just wanted to welcome the board members, Brad Beach, Thank you for investing your time in the schools. I mean, the reason you didn't have any opposition is because you have been there already for the students in your role as PTA. When I voted for you to be on the facilities committee chair, and then you went on and worked on the Safe and Modern Schools Committee to continue to make sure that we have adequate resources for our schools. So that's not just a chance that you didn't have opposition. It's because you have already done the work. It's the same thing with Dr. Apodaca. You know, he's done the work and he did not have opposition. So thank you, and thank you to your wife and your kids for the sacrifices that they're going to make for you, because you're going to miss them a little bit. Michael Eugenio, you have big shoes to fill. You know, Ms. Mendoza was always about the teachers and the students first, and she was a teacher. She knew exactly what the teacher's perspective was. It's never easy, but you've really worked hard to hear the committee, and your voice is definitely needed. I mean, as a parent of someone who, students in this district, we're going to need to hear your voice on those issues, because you can hear them from your heart more than anybody else out there. Listen to all of the voices, not just the loudest, I think is the key thing. Go visit all the schools that we'll be voting on, because you're going to be affecting all of the districts, places they are. We are just one district, but many schools. And so I think it'd be very important that, you know, we are one district and we're indivisible. We can't, we are all together on these things. We rise and fall together. Toy drive, thank you. We had a pretty good toy drive for Whitney, and Kennedy had a great fundraiser, and Whitney had a great fundraiser, and Cerritos, I think I had a fundraiser. We need to show up to these fundraisers, because there's not a lot of ways for these. I've been trying to sell candy for my daughter, and it's hard. The kids cannot raise money for their schools, so it's our job as a board member is to show up at all of these events and support every school in our district. I hardly get at home anymore because I'm always out at a fundraiser. So I'm hoping that we can support our kids. I saw the COVID testing thing, and that's also an important thing that we had there. I heard that our some people have already even gotten tested there, having some convenience, and I hear it was safe and effective. And if it continues to be so, I'm glad to have that. Because when I took a COVID test in our city, I didn't get my results. So I've heard that these guys are really efficient, and they give you the results right away, not waiting days and days and days.
Wow.
Everybody out there, be safe. This is a critical time. I don't know if we can be any safer than anybody else. It's really tough. I understand. We are itching to get out there and meet our friends and relatives. My daughter wants to meet her friends and everything. But just for the sake of everyone, do what you can to be safe. Don't just wear a mask and think that's enough. We need to be arm's length away, both of us. We can't be knocking each other in the elbows, because that means we're going to be within 3 feet of each other. That's not safe. This is a super communicable disease, and I'm sure all the doctors and medical professionals know that we have absolutely no space in those ER rooms. You do not want to be in the ER room right now. So I hate to be the Grinch, but if we're going to be able to see a better spring, we need to stay home, wear a mask, 6 feet apart, just barrel through this until we get some of our people immunized, and I'm hoping that we can find a way to serve all of our kids, or some of those kids that really need services, because I know they're hurting, and I know the parents are hurting, and I hate that this is the time that this is happening, but I'm glad that we have the leadership. I'm glad to be part of this team of leaders, and that Olga Rios was there to be a rock and get things done despite all this. So that's my report. Thank you, Madam President. I yield the floor.
Thank you for your kind words to a former board member. Also, thank you, those tips to our newly elected board member. Thank you, Clerk Nishii. Next one will be Dr. Rios.
Thank you. So before I give my report, I wanted to acknowledge that part of the list, I think we omitted Senator Archuleta's office, sent a proclamation. And also want to take a minute to thank Mayor from Artesia, Ali Tosh. I have the beautiful certificate of recognition. So thank you. I want to publicly acknowledge Councilmember Frank Yokoyama for inviting us to partner and offer COVID testing for our ABC community. I did not hesitate to participate in the testing, and it appears that others felt the same since the spots filled up rather quickly. We know that much of the spread is by asymptomatic individuals, and so it was important for me to do my part to stop the spread. My provider actually discourages testing if you don't have symptoms, but this program, Curative, will test you regardless. And yes, I got my results within 24 hours, a 5 a.m. wake-up call. We know that testing is key in our efforts to getting back to normal. Vaccines are rolling out, but I caution us to count on that being readily available to our families and students during this academic year. There is much discussion about who's on the list next. And, you know, I caution us to take that into consideration. I did attend LACSTA meeting, and I actually look forward to being an active member. It was very informative, and I encourage all board members to also participate. Lastly, I want to wish all of our ABC staff, families and students, and absolutely my fellow board members a very happy holiday season. And as board member Nishii mentioned, please stay safe, everyone. Thank you.
Sophie, you're muted. I'm going to assume that
Thank
it
you.
is my turn.
Thank you. Thank you. Next to Vice President, Ms. Yu.
Okay,
The floor is
Madam
yours.
President, thank you. First, I want to welcome Dr. Michael Eugenio and Brad Beach on the board. Both are active members in the past, and I think they're going to be a great asset to our board. Really appreciate your energy, your enthusiasm, and your background, and looking forward to serving our district together on this board. Also, congratulations to incoming President Sophia Say. This is going to be a challenging year for you because we're still dealing with pandemic, and thank you for accepting the challenge. A lot of uncertainties and a lot of things to catch up, you know, a lot of things to make up. But you know, we're here to serve the board together, so you're not alone. And I am always concerned about the families who's struggling, and I know that the survey, we had 75% satisfied with the virtual learning, which I'm so appreciative. But because things are changing so fast and the news is really, I think that some people get really paranoid with the news and all the numbers of the infections. And at the same time, we're all home. The students are home, cooped up. So I am concerned about the mental health. And I know that right now is not the time, but I'm just wondering that in the very near future, when we come back in January, if we can think about taking another survey. And when we do the survey this time, can we do it a little bit differently? Because even though we are one district, I know that the needs on different cities have different needs. And I know that cities like on the south side, you know, they may, even though there's the dangers, some families may want to send their kids to school for childcare. There might be a need. Some of them might not know if there's such services available because of their home condition. If you're like in 1-2 rooms with 6 families and the kids don't have access to, you know, private space, and we talked about this before. And I think that, of course, families have their choices, but it would be, I would like to know what the needs are in each schools. So I don't know if there's a way to have surveys conducted by sites, you know, and not all parents can participate through the internet either. They might need a phone call or something, or paper, I don't know. So because I am concerned about the gap when we come back post-pandemic, you know, for the students who are in the lower socioeconomic group, they're gonna be suffering, you know, struggling with the gap, and really hope that we can, you know, roll up our sleeves and serve this group of students. So that was my concern. And lastly, Merry Christmas to everybody, and may your family be blessed with the peace, love, and hope. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Vice President, Mr. Yu. Well, for me to board report, first of all, the last Monday, I attended ABCUSD, which is Asian Pacific Islanders California School Board Association ethnic study, and we are working towards that. Hopefully, one day, all our high school will have ethnic study courses provided by through our district. Secondly, I also attending Winnie High School. They invite me two things. One is the can drive. So I walk door to door to our neighbor, ask for donation of the canned food. The third, I also attending for their civic class by Mr. Jeans. Invite me to have a presentation with the student about what is a board member about. So I was honored to be there, and then it was a great time with the student. It reminds me about when I was high school, and they really has a lot of questions, and looking forward to work with them directly more. But once again, I want to thank you very much to all of you, and thank you, trust me and vote for me the president. I will do the best I can to serve all, not just only for certain area to all. And I also want to welcome our newly board member. I want to let you know, say, hey, welcome. And then, hey, we got a young Jedi here now. And thank you so much and working so hard. And especially to Dr. Eugenio, it wasn't easy and you made it. I want to thank you so much for working hard running for this position. And with you to join with us, I know there's another plus because I know you were a planning commission for Atisha City. Am I correct?
No, I was with public safety.
Public safety. So you do have a lot of connection with the Atisha community members. So that would be really another plus for us to know them more closely, and definitely we work with them all. Like our former president, Dr. Rios, I know Lakewood people very well, and she has contributed so much. And we're improving a lot over that city area, and the students, the parents are very happy. Our school district because Dr. Rios. And also, I want to say to our current re-elect board member, Dr. Apodaca, say, yes, we made it. You know, you did a great job, and you're lucky. You didn't running nobody against you, which is really another plus. So let's have a positive year of 2021. I just want to say thank you all. Let's work together as a team. And I also wanted to the public. I want to say happy belated Thanksgiving. Happy holidays and Happy New Year. And God bless you, we all. And have a safe, wash your hands frequently, wear your mask wherever you go. Okay. And cover your nose and your mouth, make sure, because many times when I go out, people only cover below the mouth. I say, you need to cover your nose too. So stay home as much as you can and be safe. Okay. There is light and hope at the end of the term. Trust, we will be fine. Thank you very much. So now we will go to the committee meeting report. We will have a strategic planning board advisory, and this will be board member, I'm trying to think about that, Mr. Beach, am I correct? Who's strategic?
The strategic plan is Suyu.
Vice President is you. So want to let you know your committee will be on Tuesday, January 26, 2021 at 6 o'clock is a visual meeting. For Legislative Policy Board Advisory Committee, Wednesday, January 27, 2021, 6:30 p.m. visual meeting. Finance Audit, I think that's Board Member Nishii. Advisory Committee is on Thursday, January the 28th, 2021 at 6 p.m. And dates to remember, winter break. We'll have December 21, 2020 to January 1st, 2021. A second public comments section. Do you have any public comments? Clerk Nishii.
I haven't seen any.
We actually do have one. It's Mr. Cabrera Zermenio, who we actually have two now. So I will start with Mr. Zermenio. Cabrera Zermenio. Go ahead and unmute, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead, Joe. Joe, go ahead and unmute. We heard you for a second. Try now, sir.
Joe, you're unmuted. Well, now you're muted. But your microphone may turn on the volume. Can you raise the volume in your microphone?
Why don't we go to the next person?
We will.
Yes, let's go to the next person.
All right. The next person is Parth Patel.
Hello. I'm a senior at attending Whitney High School, and it's been a pleasure listening to you guys and this meeting. I want to thank the board members for their dedication. So my concern is that a lot of students, including myself, are having a little bit of trouble with motivation in distance learning. We understand that given the circumstances, this might be the best that we can do, but speaking as a student, I hope we can do something regarding the mental health climate of the students, whether that's making mental health resources more accessible or some other means. For example, in my AP literature class, we had a discussion about online school, and we came to the conclusion that it felt a bit disconnected, and it felt somewhat optional, even though it's obviously not. So I suggest that for the betterment of our educational climate, we let this take precedence, because if we pinpoint the mental health issues, it works its way up into students.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Patel.
Scott, can we try again with Mr. Zermenio?
Let's try that again.
We'll give him another minute.
Go ahead, Joe. There you go, Joe. You should be able to talk.
Raise your volume.
Go ahead.
I think we'll welcome Mr. Joe for the next board meeting for his presentation. Okay, so I think absolutely.
We're almost done. You've got another 9 seconds.
9 seconds? Okay.
Okay, so that would have given them approximately 3 minutes to try to get set up in the system, unfortunately.
Okay, thank you. I think I'm glad that student Mr. Patel came forward and talk about the mentally needs, and which is very true. We have a social interaction. I mean, we have a social distance, but we cannot avoid to provide them have a social interaction, which is, when we teaching, during my teaching lesson, I always provide some time for students get together and talk, this so-called social interaction. And thank you, Dr. Su will work towards that goal and to make sure we eliminate that issue to our district as much as we can. I will work with you. Thank you. And the next one we're going to have towards the end, and I think I did a great job right now, is 9:39. So I'm going to move to adjourn. May I have a motion to adjourn in the memory of retired ABC teacher Barbara Parsonage? Is Parsonage?
So moved, Apodaca.
Thank you.
Second, Nishi.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
I'm going to give this to Dr. Su.
Thank you very much, President Tsai. Barbara Parsonage worked as a substitute teacher from 1982 through 1986. She became a permanent teacher in 1986 at Aloha Elementary School. Mrs. Parsonage continued her teaching career at Stowers Elementary School from 2000 until her retirement in 2009. Mrs. Parsonage leaves behind a loving husband, Lal Parsonage, and 3 sons: Cerritos High School teacher Scott Parsonage and his wife, Scott Parsonage and his wife, Nixon Elementary School teacher Kimberly Parsonage, Brent Parsonage, Kevin Parsonage, and 6 grandchildren. Mrs. Parsonage passed away on November 21, 2020. I thank you for adjourning in memory of Barbara Parsonage tonight.
Thank you, Dr. Su. Please send a regard to the family.
I already have.
Okay, meeting adjourned. Thank you, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you all. Bye.
Good night.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Bye. Have a safe.
Merry Christmas all.
Thank you.